Hi everyone, it's Sarah, and Elena's not with me today. I don't know why, but yeah, I haven't heard from her in a bit. Last I heard, she was going down to see a concert, so maybe she stayed down there for a week or two with her boyfriend, or I don't know. Yeah, so today's topic, I kind of decided to sort of merge two. I was really sick, and I didn't get a chance to recover, or to do one on what happens when you don't have the opportunity for treatment and how you recover on your own, or do the best that you can anyway. And also, I saw a really neat one done on Thursday. I know that Kelly did it for sure, and probably Rachel. And that was based on what happens when you get told that you can't recover. So yeah, I was going to combine those two. And yeah, it's just because that's what I feel like. And I don't actually have, I can't figure out the blog thing that we're supposed to use. Yeah, so anybody who's on the Freedom Fighters, fill me in on that, yeah. Okay, so what happens when you get told you can't recover? You find another doctor. I am so serious. I've been told that. I have. When I was 17, I was told I would never make it past the age of 21, that I would starve or kill myself. And I was told that I would never, ever have a meaningful recovery, and I am halfway through the degree. So, you know, although I'm not totally there by any stretch at all, and I will totally tell you that straight up, I'm a lot better than I ever thought I was going to be, and I'm a lot better than anyone else ever thought I was going to be. And that's what we have to remember, is that the body is amazingly resilient. It's really, really resilient. You can be on the brink of death and come back from an eating disorder. It's happened many, many times. You can also, unfortunately, not do that, but more times than not, you can do that. You can come back from cardiac arrest, from, you know, kidney failure, all that, and everything just starts working again once you start feeding your body. And so that happens more often than not. It doesn't always, but it does happen quite often. And the mind, we have to remember that the mind is like 100 trillion times more resilient than the body is. So if that's what the body can do, you know, what our minds can do is just beyond exponential. We can't even imagine it. If we try to imagine it, it's an insult to those who recover, because it's just, our imaginations are limited in such a way that, you know, we can't really, even the people that believe in us most can't truly really believe how well some of these people recover. You know, it's you know, if you happen to manage to make your soul complete enough that you want to live, and, you know, your body is well enough, and your mind is at a place where it wants to too, then there's no reason you can't recover. There's none whatsoever. And that's the other thing too, is that if you're in a position where you're not ever going to recover because you've physically done too much damage to your body, there's two facets to recovery. One of them is recovery of the mind. And if you feel whole, even if you're dying from your eating disorder or whatever, in my mind, you've made it. So, like, don't minimize that. And yeah, so that's what I wanted to say about that. One of the huge, really imperative things that we need, though, is someone who believes in us. That's absolutely essential. So if your doctor is telling you you can't recover, or your therapist is telling you you can't recover, then you need a new one. It's that simple. Just go find a new one that does believe in you, or at least doesn't make it blatantly obvious that they don't. Yeah, so that's what I wanted to say about that. And then the second thing, when you get told that you have to recover on your own. First of all, there's two ways that people can construe that. And trust me, this is DBT working, otherwise I wouldn't be able to see it. One is, you're not sick enough. 2 is that you're not valuable enough or worth it. First of all, your doctor, if he's telling you you're not offering you treatment or declining you treatment, and I totally need to take this advice myself, he doesn't get, like, we don't pay him for his opinion on your value or whether or not you're worth it. So just discard that. Throw it out in the garbage. That's not for him to make an opinion about. And if you're not sick enough, take it as a compliment. You know, you are so strong that your eating disorder doesn't have you beat or almost beat yet. Take it as a compliment and run. You know, a lot of times people are like, well, I really feel like I need treatment because, you know, that'll beat my eating disorder, and they're so strong as it is. The reason your doctor is not offering you treatment is because he can get away with it. He will not lose his license if he doesn't do it. If you were sick enough, and if you were beat enough, and if your eating disorder had so much control over you that you wouldn't be able to do it on your own, he would have to, or he would lose his job. So yeah, take it as a compliment for sure, and just run with it. It says nothing about your worth or value. You don't pay for his opinion on that. You pay for his opinion on your physical well-being. And if you're well enough to do it on your own, or if he thinks that you're well enough to do it on your own, take that as a compliment too. He believes in you. You don't need to go look for someone to believe in you, because he does. He believes in you enough that you're not going to get so sick and so ill, you're going to die, and he's going to get sued for negligence. Like, that's how much he believes in you. That's awesome. Just take that and run with it. And yeah, it took me like 5 years to get that position where I could do that. And you just sort of want to shake your physician or your psychiatrist or whatever and be like, you're not listening. And he may not be. So, you know, if you really do find that you're having too much trouble, you're having too much, you know, you're falling even further and further and further despite your best efforts, keep asking, by all means. You can ask for anything in the world. That is your right as a human being. You can ask for anything in the world, but they also get to say no. That's the other thing. That's the catch. And sometimes we as people with eating disorders can't handle that. Learn to handle that. If they say no, that's fine. Just go ask somewhere else. Eventually someone is going to say yes. You know, and yeah, so in the meantime, in the midterm, one of the things that I always tell people is one of two things. Stay connected socially. If you stay connected socially and you have meaning and purpose outside of your eating disorder will not take control. It just can't do it. You know, you have too much to lose for your eating disorder to take total rampant control. The second thing is find a way to open up to someone or something. I have found LiveJournal extremely helpful, but I know also there are a lot of pro-Anna, pro-Mia communities on there, so you want to be careful where you look for that. I have a really, really awesome network of friends that won't put up with that, and you know, we won't even put up with bashing the people who do those stupid things. We just sort of, we're there for each other. You know, a lot of us have therapy ourselves. A lot of us have some exercises that you can do, or, you know, a different line of insight, or a different perspective on stuff, which is basically what therapy is. There's a different way of thinking, and if you can be open to friends and to people who are willing to share that with you, you know, that might be therapy in the midterm. And yeah, it's not as good, but definitely work on opening up. The less angry that you are, or the less frustrated or sad or hurt or whatever it is that's fueling your eating disorder right now, the more of that you can get out, either in a journal or by talking to people or dance or music or YouTube videos or whatever, the less energy you have to fuel your eating disorder. So that's, I guess, what I would do in the midterm as a max. A lot of times figuring out your issues helps too, but a lot of times that can be super, super triggering, so you have to be careful. But basically, yeah, what your doctor has told you is just, or what your doctor has done is kind of unprofessional. But he's done it because he can get away with it. If he couldn't get away with it, he wouldn't do it. So take it as a compliment. Like I said, run with that. He believes in you enough to jeopardize his job over it. So just know that he believes in you, and just, that's incredible. And then, you know, minimize the energy that goes into your eating disorder by diverting it outside. You know, that doesn't mean hurting people or breaking things or anything like that, but there's so many other vehicles that you can use. A lot of people on YouTube use that for that.